Buenas, ¿cómo están? Estamos acá en otro episodio de Snowin Podcast. En este caso traemos a Benjamin Bernabé, que es el Business Developer y Marketing de Blackline. Blackline es una empresa que está produciendo unas fijaciones para snowboard, que ustedes las han visto, en un programa que se llama Hello, Ben, how are you?
Good. Thank you for having me.
We here in Argentina, we saw a show, a video on YouTube from Qui veut être mon associé. Is that right?
Exactly. It's the French version of Dragon's Den or Shark Tank.
Shark Tank. Okay. So there, Sylvain and Remy, right?
Yep, correct.
They are brothers, right?
Yes.
So they come up with this idea. How was it? How was that?
Well, the two of them and myself included, we've always been on the slopes, on boards, and everything since a very young age. And for them, that passion mainly came from their dad. Their dad has always been snowboarding, and they've been snowboarding and skiing since they were very young with their dad. And when their dad got a bit older, with knee problems, he had to stop snowboarding and go back to skiing. And of course, as their kids, and you know, he taught them how to snowboard, and they just didn't like and hated to see him having to give up the sport just because of a knee problem, not because he couldn't do it anymore. So they went into their garage, as you can see like this, and just developed this new concept, which has now become a product that we are commercializing.
Okay.
So that's where the idea came from.
So maybe some of the guys watching this podcast, they don't know, but the idea is to have this binding turning 90 degrees, right?
Correct.
So you can go like a skateboard.
Exactly. So the main idea behind it is to remove the stress on the joints, while technically what we call the rest phases during your day of skiing. So the idea is not to touch the experience or the feeling of snowboarding when you're going down the slope. We want to make sure the experience and the feeling is exactly the same, but we're actually going to help the comfort of the snowboarder during the flats, during the ski lifts, and all these periods that we call the rest phases, which comprise 60% of a snowboarder's day.
Okay.
And we do this by turning the binding or the foot in the angle of in the same axis of the board, meaning you can then push it like a skateboard and sit on the ski lift with your foot straight, and then just avoid all that stress on the knee during those phases.
Okay, and you're offering like I saw the website. I will show the website to the people here. So you're offering two versions, or like two sets. One for the front leg, and then you have a dual version, right?
Exactly. So the big one for everyone will be the pack with only one for the front foot, which really just focuses on those rest phases. And then we've got a dual pack, a double pack, where you have one on each foot. And that's for your more advanced snowboarders, which can actually switch their stance of their feet between carving, alpine, freestyle, freeride, depending on the snow and depending what they're doing during the day. So they can quickly and easily switch the stance and so the angle of both their feet, and depending on what they're doing and what the conditions are.
Okay, so you have the chance to change the angle. It's like freedom for the snowboarder. It's beautiful.
Exactly. It means you don't have to take off your boot, take off the gas paddle, take out your screwdriver, take out the screws and readjust. No, you just do it with the click of a button, and then you click it again. It's locked in the position you've chosen, with your foot, because all it does is releases the rotation of your foot, as I'll show in a bit. And so you decide what angle you want. Once you've decided, you just press on the button and it locks again.
Okay, and let's talk about the safety, because some people will think that an electronic device is like a bit complicated in the snow, the weather, how does it work?
Exactly. So, of course, for starters, we have to respond to the exact same norms and regulations as a normal disc. So, same resistance to the pulling, the movement of pulling on the board, same resistance in the angles, and all those kind of things. We have to obey the same norms and regulations. Then, when it comes to the electronics and the battery life and all that thing, of course, there are other regulations which we have to obey as well. And what we've done for the security side of things is that the disc itself, by default, is in a locked position. So imagine you run out of battery, your disc is locked. Therefore, it just becomes like a normal disc. Okay. That's all it is. It's just like a normal disc. There's nothing you can do. And the way the teeth are set up, the more you force it, the stronger the lock gets. Okay, if you force against it, it locks further. So that's the main security act, is that even if you run out of battery, whatever, your QuickSett is locked.
Okay, so by default, the system is locked, and with the Wi-Fi or Bluetooth control,
yes,
you just watch, release it.
Exactly, you just release the lock, and then when you click it again, you lock it again. But if you run out of battery, it will automatically lock. So I've got one here in my hands. If you want me to show you, then it will be easier to understand. But before we go into that, then we've got also concerns about the battery life, of course, as anyone would think. But we've just gone through a lot of different batteries on the market and a lot of different manufacturers, and we've just tested lots and lots of different batteries in real conditions. We've tested them over several weeks by putting them in -10, -20 conditions and using them multiple times during the day, about 50 times every day, to test how long the battery life could last for. And therefore, the battery that we have, considering you use it 50 times a day, which means you would take the ski lift that amount of times, which is a very, very big day of riding, it would last around 5 to 6 days as it is.
Okay, so in worst case scenario, you will have to use the snowboard like a normal snowboard. that's
exactly.
No problem.
So there's not really many risks. In the worst case scenario, you have to use it as a normal snowboard. If it locks in a position that you didn't want to use, then of course you have to take out the screws and put it back in the position like you would a normal disc. Okay. That is the only real inconvenience, is if it runs out of battery at that point. But we have low battery indicators on the watch, which gives you an indication that you have less than 30% battery. With 30% battery, you can do more than one day riding. So even if you leave in the morning and the light isn't on, and you start riding and the light goes on of low battery, you can still, without a problem, go on and continue using it all day and charge it that night.
Well, you have to be very relaxed. You have to charge it. No problem. Overnight, you put it on the wall and that's it.
You can charge it overnight. I mean, the way it's set up, like most people go skiing for a week or go skiing for a long weekend. For the long weekend, you charge it before going, and then and it will last all weekend. If you go using it a lot over a week, you just charge it once in the middle of your trip on one night, and that's it. But as I said, you've got the little light that tells you need to charge it, and next time you get home, you charge it.
Okay. So where's the project right now? It's in production. You're making the QuickSets. Are you selling them in the shops or online only? How is it?
So today we've launched the production. Currently we've launched the production. The production is going to be done and fine over the summer. And so far all we've done is pre-sales on our Indiegogo campaign.
Mm-hmm.
At the moment, we're still in pre-sale, and that's the only place we are selling them at the moment.
Okay, here is the Indiegogo page. We're
Exactly.
going to add the link under this
Okay.
this video, so people will be able to go there.
Yep.
And well, here I can see the set, the single
Yep.
set, right?
Correct.
Then you have some merchandising, nice
Yeah,
ad,
exactly.
and then the dual version,
And puck.
the puck
Exactly.
double,
Yeah.
and that's it.
And that's it. So we did the crowdfunding to get to our target. We managed to reach the target, and then that means we closed the campaign. We moved into what is called an in-demand campaign, which basically is just to continue the pre-sales.
Mm-hmm.
And once production will be finished, so at the end of the summer, then we'll move into normal sales because we'll have products in our hands.
Cool.
So today the production launch, we've sold 1,000 in pre-sales, and then we're also in contact with shops and distributors, especially Japan. We've just signed a big contract with a Japan distributor, so that next season we will have QuickSetts in shops and in different countries as well.
Okay. So
if you wish, I've got one here next to me. If you want me to do a bit of demonstration.
Yeah, show me.
Oh.
Let me see.
So here I've got a box.
That's the box.
With inside this is a single set.
Mm-hmm.
So firstly, we've got here the remote control.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this is our first version of the remote control, which we are already working on a better version.
Mm-hmm. Waterproof, of course. Everything is waterproof.
More comfortable. I mean, at the moment it is waterproof. It's everything we need. It's with a scratch, also waterproof scratch, with a very big bracelet, so that you can put it over the top of your ski suit, and very big buttons, so that you can use it with your gloves.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, and here I don't know if you can see properly, but there's the two lights, little lights. One that lets you know about the battery and when you're locked, and the other one that lets you know when you're unlocked.
Sure.
Okay, and then finally, here I've got in my hand the QuickSett. As you can see, for comparison, this is just a normal disc. Okay, this is a union disc, and as you can see, we keep more or less the same height, same size, similar types of holes, which we can then adapt to channel bindings and 4x2 and 2x2, 4x4, and it comes, of course, with a cable, magnetic, that just comes in and attaches magnetically to the disc. So when you have it on your board, if you have a plug in the garage, all you have to do is take off the guest paddle, plug this on top, and leave it overnight.
And that's it.
And
that's wonderful. That's wonderful.
The QuickSett itself comes in two pieces. We've got the QuickSett, the main part that attaches to the board, and I don't think you'll be able to see on the screen, but we've got teeth here and here, and they are the ones that go out and in to lock and unlock the system. And then it comes with what we call an adaptability ring. This adaptability ring fits with the QuickSett inside it, and this is the one that when it's unlocked turns around the QuickSett, and when it's locked doesn't turn because the teeth go out. The adaptability ring, we've got several different ones, all that adapt to different brands of bindings. Of course, all the bindings have different teeth, depth, size, and also different heights. So we need different rings of different heights and teeth to make sure that the QuickSett is actually holding the binding against the board and that there's no give when it's in the locked position.
So you can use that in every single snowboard right now, or?
So we aren't adaptable to the EST and 3 type. And then as far as the bindings go, we aren't adaptable to mini disc of course, because this is it would be too small for us, and we're not adaptable to aluminium bases because again they're too thin. So what we are actually adaptable to is what you would call your standard disc for the bindings, or reflex discs, and depending on what you want to call them. So that's at today's stage of the product, our limitations is the mini disc, the aluminium base, and ESD bindings and whatnot.
Perfect.
Okay.
Perfect.
And here I'll give you a little example on a board.
Okay.
So I've taken off the straps and the gas paddle so you can see the QuickSett here fixed. Okay, with the screws. Here, I'll try moving it. You'll see that there is no give
at all.
Okay, like a normal disc. And then I'll press the button. Okay, I don't think you'll be able to hear it, but you can actually hear usually the mechanism that just brings the teeth in. All right, and then with my foot inside, I will turn the binding into the axe of the
That's wonderful.
and push. And I can leave it unlocked like this because usually I'm not riding. And then when I'm done, I just turn it back into my preferred position. Normally, so you will set it so that your standard position, we'll call it, the one that you use the most, is position 0. Okay? So when you want to go back to your position, you'll just clack, hit that position 0, and you'll know you've reached your normal position. And then if you're changing different styles, you can actually move it around to the other positions, and then you can move it in the axe. But considering what type of riding you do habitually the most, that would be your position 0 where you look. Once you're finished, press on the button again, and here we go.
It's locked.
All right.
Sweet.
We've got all the different bindings. We are testing and getting all the teeth size and all the depth and heights of everything so that we adapt to the most amount of brands possible on the market.
It's wonderful, Ben. It's a great idea. Every single snowboard should come with that system. I think that the future is it's black line everywhere. Should be like that. Javier and I, we ski. We don't use the snowboards. So
I'm sorry for you.
Well, I'm always trying. I'm almost saying that next time I'm going to try the snowboard. I come from the skates. When I was a kid, I used to skate a lot. So when I saw this video, I said, okay, that's it. That's what I need. That's why I don't want to be, what the most difficult part for a snowboarder is maybe, I think, the chairlift or the T-bar or whatever. So this was like, oh my God, this is the solution. I need to try this.
Me myself, I come from more the beach than the mountains. So I've always been more into surfing, and it's the same thing. When we first got the first prototype working and I tried it, it's huge difference. There's certain, I don't know how it is in Argentina, but here in certain stations you have a lot of like flat areas to get to the chairlifts, or in between two different slopes it's just completely flat. So you have
or you have to go upwards.
Or even upwards. So it changes everything. You push, up, you put yourself on the board. As soon as you slow down, you just push again. It's like skating, you can, and because you leave it free, you can actually move your front foot like you would on a skateboard, straight when you're pushing and slightly to the side when you've got your back foot on the board.
It's wonderful. So Ben, what do you think about the future? What are your expectations? Where is the company right now, and where do you wanna go?
So we've got two different sides to that question. We've got, of course, the QuickSett, which is our main product and main idea, which we're trying to push worldwide. We're selling it everywhere online, and then we're going to try and get distributors and into shops in as many places as possible. And the idea is to, in the next 3 years, at least hit 1% of all the snowboarders in the world. As you might probably know, that 1% is already 1.3 million snowboards in the whole world. So if we could do that in the first 3 years, it would be a good start for our product. As far as Blackline goes, we want to keep going with this vision of adding safe electronics in board sports, and there's certain things we can do with electronics that you couldn't do before, because it's the electronic element that allows you to take the invention or take the whatever we're trying to do further. So we've got another couple of ideas and projects in the works, that we hopefully will release next year, and that we're just pushing that idea of electronics in board sports, in extreme sports, wherever, to make the life simpler without changing the adrenaline and the sensations you have when you're actually riding. It's more about comfort and security, and everything else like that. And then of course we're trying to build a brand image and a whole brand around these extreme sports. And so, as you said earlier, with waterproof caps, we've got the beanies, we've got the jumpers that we're developing at the moment, the outerwear hoodies that you can, the riding hoodies, that are all same thing, waterproof, windproof, and everything, just a lot lighter than a jacket, and several other smaller projects like that. So we're just really trying to get out there and be known and become a reference in as many extreme sports as possible, without obviously doing anything crazy or reinventing the sport. We all do these sports in the company. We have one skier and two snowboarders. We all do a bit of surfing, a bit of skating, a bit of kite surfing, windsurfing, all of these extreme sports. And the idea is that when we feel something could be easier, then we start looking into it and see what we can do about it.
That's the way, man. That's the way. Okay, Ben. I would like to thank you very much for this interview and this time and your time.
No problem.
We will be in touch. We will try your system for sure someday in Argentina. So we will be in touch. Okay.
All right. Well, thank you for the opportunity and your interest. We've had quite some good feedback from our videos we posted in Argentina. So I think it could work, and we could be in Argentina sooner than planned.
We hope so. Okay, Ben. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you both.
Bye.
Good. Bye.
Bye.